Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and as you can see I'm set up and ready to go for the next painting. So in the last video I did, let's recap, I did this painting and I did this one. So if you haven't watched it, you can go back to the last video. There should be a playlist for these that you can catch up on, and also I've got a video in the playlist of all the paintings that I've done so far in this book, just showing you the finished ones and talking about the challenge. So I'm basically painting, my challenge is to paint all the paintings from this book, which is 50 paintings, and the point of that is to learn to define my skills with acrylic painting basically. So, and I found this is a pretty good book to do that with. So yeah, let's proceed. So today we're doing painting simple highlights, which is the object that we're going to be painting is this light bulb. So here it explains more about the point of this little project. So it says different surfaces reflect and absorb light in different ways. Highly polished surfaces will have distinct sharpened highlights, while soft surfaces will have smooth soft edged highlights. Brackets, if they have any highlights at all, close brackets. For this exercise you will be rendering highlights on two different surfaces, glass and metal. You will revisit each of these surfaces in the coming projects. So we're going to start with step one, which is paint a basic outline of a light bulb with yellow ochre. You may want to use one of the transfer techniques described in the introduction to ensure accuracy. I won't be doing that, I'll just paint the light bulb. Don't worry too much about painting it perfectly though, as you'll be covering most of the outline with opaque paint in later steps. So we're going to do that. I think I'm going to do steps 1 and 2 together and then kind of check in and do a little b-roll of paint of me doing some of the painting. Fill in the outline of the bulb with unbleached titanium, but leave the metal casing at the bottom unpainted for now. Paint the area surrounding the bulb with a combination of unbleached titanium and burnt sienna. Allow to dry for 5 minutes before proceeding to step 3. So we're going to do these 2 steps, and the colours that we're going to be using is yellow ochre, unbleached titanium, but I can't find, I'm trying to buy unbleached titanium, I can't find it, so I've been using in its place buff titanium, which does the trick. Same thing. So if you look, same sort of thing, does the job. And burnt sienna, Mars black and titanium white. I have all of that. I use the acrylic paints that I use is system free acrylic paints, and this is a combination of the original, which I prefer. It's thicker, thicker consistency, but more expensive. They never used to be that expensive, well, talking about quite a few years ago, but nowadays it's acrylic paint is quite expensive. So this is the, if you see system free original, it's thicker, better quality. So this is the cheaper version of this, which is it's not that much more runnier, but it's got a runnier consistency. And you know, if you're just doing practice painting like I am, like these, you don't really need to spend a lot of money on paints. You can just get these. If you do your research, like I checked different sites for prices and they vary a lot. I think I got these from Cass Arts online, and that was the cheapest I was getting my materials for, to be honest. So I did I check Jackson Art Supplies? I checked Hobbycraft. Their prices were a bit like, there's like £1 difference in pricing, so you really just look around, shop around when you're buying your paints, because you can save money by finding the best deal for the paints, and these are the cheaper versions. So yeah, this is just system free acrylic and the other one is system free original. So yeah, and so yellow ochre, buff titanium instead of unbleached titanium, and we've got our burnt sienna, the Mars black, and titanium white. So yeah, these pots are quite expensive. I think this is like £16 just for a pot of this, like this size, which I think is quite expensive. So anyway, look around and get the best pricing is what I would advise. I looked on 3 different sites before I decided which site to buy the paint, like these paint, when I needed to top up on paints recently, But Cass Art, I just went there and got all my art supplies that I needed, and it was not too bad. And the site had everything I needed as well. So I do love Cass Art Supplies, and because they cater to students as well, like art students and things. So they kind of try to keep their pricing reasonable. But anyway, enough of that. So that's that. So I'm going to get started on step 1 and 2, and then I will check in. And I may probably do a little bit of B-roll of me painting in between that. Hi guys, so this is where we've got to. I don't know whether my light bulb shape is questionable or not, but we will see when it turns out. How it turns out, sorry. But yeah, that's where we're at. So we've done step 1 and step 2. So step 3 is to show that it is resting on a surface, paint a shadow behind the light bulb using Mars Black. Mix titanium white with a little Mars Black and paint the sides of the metal light bulb base. Leave the centre of the metal base unpainted for now, as you will be replacing highlights there in step 5. So we're going to do this, and yeah, so from now on it's about building up those highlights and things to give it that roundness and pop off the canvas a bit more. So let me go and do that, and then I'll come back and we can see how I actually managed to get on. Okay, so I'm just checking in. So I've done step 3, which had quite a few little bits in there. And what did I do? So yeah, so I've added in the highlights, the shadow, and painted a bit of the metal bulb base. So the next step is hold on, leave the centre black, titanium white. So yeah, to paint, step 4 was to paint highlights on the bulb, adding a few simple shapes. Oh, I did that, and a dot near the top using titanium white, which I did that. This is the bit I've got to do now. Fill in the interior of the bulb with a mixture of unbleached titanium and a little Mars Black. Paint a highlight on the metal base with titanium white. So I've mixed up some unbleached titanium with some Mars Black, which is going to go in the center. And yeah, so fill in the interior bulb with a mixture. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll see how it is looking. Hi guys, I'm checking in. So we have just done step 4, and I think that is slightly darker than it should be, but the next step is step 5. It says, when the paint has dried, apply a thin transparent glaze of unbleached titanium to the interior of the bulb. Do not cover the highlights. This will unify the colours and make the bulb appear to be made from a single material. So I need to go and get my glazing medium, and then we will do that, and then that hopefully it will unify this a bit, because it does look a bit you know, what's the word, separate, I don't know, but we're going to glaze it and then see if that will unify all of that in the bulb and make it appear a bit more like a bulb. I'm not sure if I should go over that grey first though with a lighter colour. I mean, obviously the titanium glaze will lighten it up. I'm not sure, So let's see anyway. Okay, so this is it. So this is the finished piece. Excuse my snack right there. Let's just put that out of shot. So in regards to this piece, I'm not overly happy with it. I did soften up the highlights that I did up there and lightened up the areas at the sides just to make it kind of seem like a bowl, because it was still looking quite flat. I think it looks better, and yeah, it's not my favourite that I've done. It's probably one of my least favourites. I mean, it's not exactly a interesting subject to paint a light bulb, but it's good practice. It doesn't look as good as the one in the book, but yeah, I think we'll just leave it. I think we'll just leave it there. But it was a good exercise. It was a good learning exercise. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.